So here we are again. The same stage, the same actors, but the stakes seem to be getting higher with each passing day. Another Gaza conflict, another attempted ceasefire, another round of tense negotiations. It's a cycle that feels all too familiar, almost like a tragic play that keeps getting reenacted. It's like a rerun of a show you've seen 1,000 times, except the stakes keep getting higher, and the body count keeps climbing. Each iteration brings more devastation, more heartbreak, and yet here we are watching it unfold once again. This time around, Hamas, the militant group that controls Gaza, has offered a ceasefire. But what does that really mean in the grand scheme of things? Is it a genuine attempt at peace, or just another strategic move in a long game of chess? Sounds great, right? World peace, puppies, rainbows, the whole shebang. It's the kind of thing that makes for a great headline, but the reality is far more complex and far less idyllic. Not so fast. This isn't your grandma's ceasefire agreement. The terms are intricate, the stakes are high, and the trust between parties is virtually non-existent. Every clause, every word is scrutinized and debated. They've thrown in a few extras. These aren't just simple add-ons. They are demands that could make or break the entire deal. Each side has its own set of non-negotiables, making the process even more convoluted. Think of it like ordering a pizza. You want peace, that's the pizza. But what kind of peace? Is it a thin crust, a deep dish, or something in between? And what about the toppings? Hamas wants extra cheese, pepperoni, and maybe a side of, the release of hundreds of prisoners? These are not just toppings, they are significant demands that come with their own set of complications and repercussions. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for them. The stakes are incredibly high and the room for error is minuscule. One wrong move and the entire deal could fall apart, plunging the region back into chaos. But hey, at least they're talking, right? In a world where dialogue often breaks down before it even begins, the fact that both sides are at the table is a small victory in itself. That's got to count for something. Every small step, every minor agreement, is a move towards a larger goal. It's a slow, arduous process, but it's progress nonetheless. And in a conflict as protracted and complex as this, any progress is worth noting. Let's unpack Hamas's demands, shall we? It's a complex and multifaceted issue that has been simmering for decades, and it's not just about the immediate release of prisoners. There's a lot more at stake here. First up on the menu is a serious prisoner swap. This isn't your run-of-the-mill negotiation. It's a high-stakes game where the lives of many hang in the balance. The demand is for the release of hundreds, if not thousands, of prisoners. We're not talking about exchanging baseball cards here, folks. We're talking about hundreds of convicted terrorists, some responsible for pretty horrific acts. These individuals have been involved in bombings, shootings, and other violent activities that have claimed countless lives. Hamas argues that these are freedom fighters, prisoners of war, victims of Israeli oppression. They see them as heroes who have sacrificed their freedom for the cause of Palestinian liberation. To them, these prisoners are symbols of resistance and defiance against what they perceive as an unjust occupation. Israel understandably has a slightly different perspective. They see them as, terrorists. From the Israeli viewpoint, these individuals are responsible for heinous crimes and pose a significant threat to national security. Releasing them could potentially lead to more violence and instability. This difference of opinion tends to put a bit of a damper on the whole let's make a deal vibe. Negotiations are often fraught with tension, mistrust, and a deep-seated animosity that makes finding common ground incredibly challenging. It's a classic hostage situation, but on a geopolitical scale. The stakes are incredibly high, and the implications of any agreement or failure to reach one can have far-reaching consequences not just for the immediate parties involved, but for the entire region and beyond. And as anyone who's seen Die Hard knows, negotiating with hostage-takers rarely ends well. The tension, the stakes, the potential for things to go horribly wrong, it's all there, but in real life there's no script, no guaranteed happy ending. Except for Bruce Willis, of course, he usually walks away unscathed. But in the real world the outcomes are far less predictable and often much more tragic. The hope is always for a peaceful resolution, but history has shown us that such situations are rarely that simple. Hamas also wants guarantees. And no, they're not talking about a lifetime warranty on a new toaster oven. They want assurances that Israel will end the war, withdraw its forces from Gaza, and allow humanitarian aid to flow in. Now, who could blame them for wanting a little reassurance? It's not like they haven't been down this road before. Past ceasefires have crumbled faster than a stale croissant, leaving a bitter taste in everyone's mouths. The problem is, trust is a precious commodity in this part of the world, and it's currently in shorter supply than affordable housing in San Francisco. So how's Israel responding to this laundry list of demands? Well, they've countered with an offer of their own, the release of 10 hostages. Not exactly a one-to-one swap, is it? They're also reportedly looking to the good old US of A to provide those all-important guarantees. Because nothing says trustworthy mediator like a country with a history of intervening in the Middle East. It's like asking your friend who crashes at your place rent-free to co-sign your mortgage. You want to believe they have your back, but there's always that nagging doubt. Section 5. Body count. The stark reality. While the politicians play their high-stakes poker game, let's not forget the human cost of this conflict. Over 1,000 Israelis and thousands of Palestinians have been killed since this latest round of violence erupted. That's thousands of families torn apart, thousands of lives cut short, thousands of dreams shattered. It's a stark reminder that behind the headlines and the political posturing, there are real people suffering. People who just want to live in peace, raise their families, and not have to worry about bombs raining down on them. Section 6. Meanwhile, in Cairo. As we speak, negotiators from Egypt, Qatar, and the US are huddled in Cairo trying to hammer out some kind of agreement. It's a tough job, kind of like trying to herd cats. If those cats were armed with rockets and a deep-seated mistrust of each other, will they succeed? Your guess is as good as mine. But one thing's for sure, the world is watching, hoping against hope that this time sanity will prevail. Section 7. Can we lighten the mood? Maybe not. Look, I know this is serious stuff. We're talking about war, death, displacement. It's not exactly a barrel of laughs, but sometimes you just have to find the humor in the darkness, right? So, here's a thought. What if we treated these ceasefire negotiations like a reality TV show? We could call it the Gaza Guarantee Games. Okay, maybe not. Too soon? Probably. Like I said, sometimes it's best to just let the gravity of the situation sink in. Section 8 guarantees the only way out of this mess? Here's the thing about guarantees, they're kind of essential. They are the bedrock of any meaningful agreement, whether it's between nations or individuals. Without guarantees, promises are just words, easily broken and quickly forgotten. In life, in love, and especially in international diplomacy, guarantees provide the assurance that commitments will be honored. They are the glue that holds agreements together, the trust that binds parties to their word. When you've got two sides who view each other with the kind of suspicion usually reserved for a used car salesman offering a steal on a 1998 Honda Civic, you need more than just good intentions. You need something concrete to bridge that trust gap. You need guarantees that are tangible, enforceable, and reliable. These guarantees act as the bridge over troubled waters, connecting two shores that otherwise might never meet. Hamas wants guarantees because frankly, they've been burned before. They've seen agreements fall apart, promises broken, and their people left to suffer the consequences. They need assurances that this time things will be different. Israel wants guarantees because, well, they don't want to be played for fools. They need to know that any agreement will be upheld, that their security won't be compromised, and that their people will be safe. It's a vicious cycle of mistrust, and it's the innocent civilians who end up paying the price. The lack of guarantees leads to a lack of trust, which leads to more conflict, more suffering, and more loss. So, yeah, guarantees are important. They are not just bureaucratic formalities. They are the lifelines that can pull us out of the quagmire of conflict. They are the promises that must be kept, the commitments that must be honored. They're the foundation upon which any lasting peace agreement must be built. Without them, we are left with nothing but empty words and shattered hopes. With them, we have a chance at building a future where peace is not just a dream, but a reality. Section 9, stay tuned, stay informed, stay hopeful. So, what's next? Honestly, your guess is as good as mine. These situations are about as predictable as a toddler on a sugar rush. But here's what we can do. Stay informed, stay engaged, and for God's sake, don't just rely on memes and hot takes for your news. And hey, maybe, just maybe, if we all collectively will it hard enough, peace will finally get a chance to take root. Okay, who am I kidding? I'm contractually obligated to end on a hopeful note. We'll see what happens.